Hello everyone, CrystalFissure here and welcome to a new Spyro Reignited Trilogy video. Today we are here to look at Colossus and Glimmer, both in the PS1 and PS4 versions. You'll see here is the opening cutscene. Notice there's nothing there on the other side of the PS1 version. That's because this is actually new footage. It's a new angle. Now it begins. See? Very, very interesting there. I guess they're adding a little bit more context and shots to the opening cutscenes. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a nice interpretation, as long as you don't like completely ruin it and make it different. I think that's a great idea. You see the Yeti there, and also I love the depth of field in the shots. You know, like the kind of more cinematic view. I think that actually makes it look really, really nice. Now onto the actual level. Brother Harry, sounding all right, sounding tranquil. Yeah, you'll see that the UI, I'm still not massively sold on the UI, like the kind of look and the font there. The original font's obviously really basic. I mean, it's not like it's some iconic legendary font, but I do think that I do like that the more neutral kind of backdrop of the original one. At this though, I will say, looking at, comparing each section, one thing I really, really love is, and I said this in the first video, but I really love all the distance, all of the mountains in the distance. I think that looks absolutely gorgeous. I think it's something that is, so obvious to be done, in a more modern game, now, being on the PS4. I guess on PS2 you could probably even do it, but PS1, you couldn't have such far out distance in in every level. You could simply run out of space. Now you'll see that the rocks and stuff like that, the mossy rocks, there's a lot of different liberties they've taken with the ice and snow and stuff like that. And of course, remember that the monks, they have hockey sticks, which I talked about in the previous video as well. Why-yi-yi-yo, I believe, is the better chant, but this one sounds more tranquil, I guess. Then comparing Zoe, of course, as I've said, again, I've always had a soft spot for the original Zoe. I just think that, it's sort of a simple but iconic look. I just think that what makes the original Zoe so cool is just sort of the vibrancy of, her hair and then the yellow dress. And I think that in the newer one, it's a little bit more, I guess they have to add more detail, but I feel like it's just better as a more yellow, more brighter dress. And especially because this is probably actually an example of a limitation that's actually good. In the Reignited, it's harder to see her wings. In the older version, because they couldn't do transparency as well, I think it actually looks better with the really rainbow colored wings. Anyway, grass here, of course, is actually visible, compared to the original. It's more of a blue grass in this version, and this is where the liberties also continue through. If you look in this section here, which there you go, Reignited is about to go in, you'll notice that obviously there are paintings on the walls and stuff like that, but the area stays, it remains red in the Reignited, whereas in the original game it goes to this kind of tranquil blue sort of feeling, which I really, really like. Of course, Colossus is one of the best looking levels in the original game, if you ask me, so I think they've still done a good job. I think that the original though is just spectacular, and they had a lot to work with here. Again, I'm a big fan. I'm actually a big fan of what they've done with all of the paraphernalia, all of the is that even the word paraphernalia? All of this, the sections with the Colossus hockey team, that can be visible in this shot. Yep. Thank you, not Carol Lawrence. Let me go down, and there. I love that rug there too. It's a random inclusion, but I actually like it. I actually like the rug, to be honest. Then we've got this outside here. What I do love is I wish that they would go for that more purpley pink color in the level overall. It's kind of similar to what I said with Idle Springs. If that was one of my requests, I would do that. And what I like is the grass up here is slightly different in color to the grass below because of the lighting in the original game. So I think that is a really, it just shows just how well, even though Reignited Trilogy looks good, it just shows how much they have to work with, really, when you compare the old game. I mean, the old game just got so much to do with color, to me, so right, despite it being PlayStation 1. You only wonder what this game would have looked like if it was on PS2. Obviously, Insomniac did Ratchet and Clank, but it's hard to really tell the difference. You know, like it's hard to tell whether that would look like Spyro, because it's like a totally different aesthetic. But yeah, then we get the talisman here. Love the animation in both, actually. But what I do love is the way in which the portal is built, and you get that sound effect. I think that is absolutely glorious. Anyway, we're going to go to Glimmer next, but then we'll jump back to Colossus in a bit. Here is Glimmer, which is, wow, I mean, it's a drastic change, but not in a bad way by any stretch. You know, like I like that it's actually darker in the new version, sorry. I like that you look at the sky, like it's more of a darker skybox as later in the day, which I guess kind of suits the vibe that they're going for, because the gem cutters, you know, like it is like a gem mine or whatever. What I do love as well is the inclusion of the gems being everywhere, all over there, and they illuminate. Reminds me a lot of Crash Bandicoot. I think that that's a smart idea, and you'll see that, you know, that they illuminate and they kind of got that purple look. And then you fly over gloriously. You'll see that in the background of a shot coming up, you'll see that there's like another big gem. You can see it in the top right corner. You see that, look, it's sort of a green one, so that's going to be cool. I can't wait to explore more. I'm guessing there's going to be big gems just appearing everywhere around the level, which I think is great. I'm really looking forward to that. Not sure why they changed it to a wood thing. I guess it's to make it almost reminds me a bit of Hero's Tale. I guess that they've probably done that with the intent that it's, yeah, because it is like a gem mine, you know, they're like, whatever the word. Is gem mine even the right word? But yeah, so I think that's cool. No, I'm a big fan. And then you can see the gem cutter down there with obviously a more potent, more deeper light, I guess you call it. The ladybug looking gorgeous as well. But yeah, honestly, big fan of Glimmer so far. I think that they've done a good job with Glimmer. Can't wait to see the rest of the level. There were some small little clips. I know that Fringe did some stuff about that and showing it off in a video. I want to wait till we get like the proper footage of it, which I reckon it shouldn't be too far away, I don't reckon. But yeah. So back to our old pal Colossus. Again, I just want to show off one more thing again in slow motion, just the mountains. I love the original mountains, but what I do love so much, again, is this shot right there of stuff in the distance. And you can see as well, look, balloonist. I'm going to pause that for a second there. The balloonist, or the balloon thing. And now it was actually Jordan Fringe that figured this out, that this was in the shot, and it's like, what the heck is that? Could it be a fast travel system? So very interesting theory from him. I think that's likely. Honestly, that's quite likely. I did not expect something like that, but yeah, the balloonist and the mountains looking very, very cool. Now, finally, I didn't really want to talk about this in a separate video, but I thought I'd do it now, just at the very end here. This is one of our first looks at the real Nesta. This is the final Nesta. The other dragon was an imposter. And let me say, Nesta is pretty cool-ster. Okay, I've got nothing there, I've got no joke there, but I like saying sturdy in there. Anyway, Nesta is damn good. I like him, actually. I like that he's like sort of imposing and kind of authoritarian. He feels like he's in charge. He's holding a gavel as if he like runs the court or something like that, or chops the food, but I don't really know. But very, very cool. Very, very cool. I'm actually a big fan of this dragon redesign. And that wraps it up as well. We are done. We are closing in on 9 minutes, so we might as well end it here. Thank you guys very much for watching this Reignited Trilogy video. I'll be back soon with plenty more, very, very soon. Much appreciated, and you are all loved by me immensely. And I will see you very soon with more. Goodbye.